we live? Are we live? Yes, we are live. Everybody, welcome to your real estate Everybody, welcome to your real estate power hour. Let's get this bad boy going. Everybody, welcome to your real estate power hour. I'm Jason LaFlesch with Results Realty. Got a great show today. Everybody, welcome to your real estate power hour. Great market update. 10 indicators of financial stability. We're going to hit that. Tips for first-time home buyers. Also, living in your parents' basement. You living in your parents' basement? Not going to want to miss that one. More information on affordability, renting versus buying. Also, I got a few good topics here. Prepping your home for sale, the Cone-Marie method. So we're going to get into that. Also, whose mortgage do you want to pay, yours or your landlord's? Because you're paying one or the other, believe it or not. And one last thing, one more time, you do not need 20% down to buy a home. So we're going to dive in about 30 seconds live. It's your real estate power hour. Stay tuned. All right. That close-up's just not good. I don't want to scare away the audience. Christ almighty.
What do you mean?
Close-up of me, dude. You're good. Shoot. All right, you ready, Jeremy? Okay, let's do this.
Here we go, segment 1, 13 minutes. Live. This is your Real Estate Power Hour, the longest running real estate talk show in Arizona.
Check.
Right here, right now, on KKNT 960, The Patriot. Now, here are your hosts of the Real Estate Power Hour, Jason LaFlesch, team leader at Results Realty, and Josh Nastal with Homeowners Financial Group.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real Estate Power Hour live interactive show right here on your station, KKNT 960, The Patriot. I'm Jason LaFlesch with Results Realty, joined by my co-host, that's right, the one, the only, Josh Nastal with Homeowners Financial Group. What's going on, Josh?
Not much, man, not much. Just recovering from the Waste Management open days, man. Great time out there.
Did you go big? Did you go big?
Weather. I went big one night. I went to the Bird's Nest, had a good time, saw some concert. It was a good time,
I
man.
think that was the same night I went.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because you kept trying to call me while I'm trying to videotape.
I think I called you twice, dude.
It was.
I don't know if I kept trying to call you.
Yeah, it's like a psycho ex-girlfriend from 25 years ago or something.
Two calls all day long. 10 hours out there, 10 hours. Okay. But man, what a great time to be in Arizona. The weather was amazing up until Sunday. It was a little nasty then, but and then I guess the only other downfall of Sunday was not much of a great Super Bowl. I mean, that was kind of a boring game.
Did you think it was boring? Real defensive and
I thought it was kind of boring, man. I hate to say it. The Rams just didn't look good at all.
You know why I liked it?
Why?
Because I was in a big football pool and I had the numbers 3 and 0, so I won the first 2 quarters.
Oh, I
and
bet.
Was enjoying that.
Check this out. A little side note. A guy put down $250 in Vegas that the Rams would only score 3 points. You know?
Oh, really? What were the odds on
You know
that?
what paid them out?
No.
$100,000.
No kidding.
Yeah, 400 to 1.
Woo. Yeah, because who would think that they would score only 3?
Right?
Incredible.
Isn't that nuts?
Wow. Hey, want to thank everyone that's tuning in right now on our Facebook live stream, watching us record this show live. This is your Real Estate Power Hour. Have some great topics today. Josh has a great market update. But here's some of the other things we're going to talk about over the next hour. 10 indicators of financial stability. Also, tips for first-time home buyers. So if you're a first-time home buyer or potentially a first-time home buyer and you're renting,
listen in.
You're not going to want to miss that. Also, for those of you living in your parents' basement, or let's not limit it to just the basement, just in your parents' home.
It could be your childhood bedroom.
Indeed
I mean,
it could.
that's what it says as well.
Indeed it could. With the Farrah Fawcett poster still on the wall, reminiscent from the late 70s, right?
I don't know if that's
Did you have one of those? Did you have one of those back in the day, or am I the only one?
I don't think that's a millennial, though. They probably have some.
Oh, I didn't even know we were talking about millennials, but okay.
There's probably someone a little newer.
Hey, more information on affordability, renting versus buying. Also, if you're thinking about selling your home, prepping your home for sale, the Cone Marie method. We're going to talk about that. Whose mortgage do you want to pay, yours or your landlord's? Because whether you want to believe it or not, if you're renting right now, you're still paying a mortgage. You're just paying the landlord's mortgage. Wouldn't you rather pay
If you're a landlord, that's great.
Really is. And then one more time, you do not need 20% down to buy a home. We're going to get into that as well.
I think we're going to hit that a couple times.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't we start out with a market update?
Absolutely. So I always talk about mortgage rates, and I have a lot to talk about today. Mortgage rates have definitely stabilized. No ups and downs. We're really in a good spot since they dropped. The Fed had met recently, and to a big surprise last week, the Fed strongly suggested that they're not going to raise rates, and there may not be another hike this year. In addition to that, I was researching one of the most leading economists, Mr. L. Areen, said that they might not raise them again at all this year because of the 4 hikes in 2018, and that there is probably a 50 to 55% chance that they could actually be cut sometime in 2020. So that's very positive information on the outlook on interest rates. And it's so crazy to me, Jay, because what did everyone say prior to the beginning of the year?
Rates would be 6.5, going through the roof.
Isn't it nuts? This is interesting too. It's funny how everything affects business, mortgage, real estate. So mortgage applications were down the last week and a half, mainly due to the nasty weather back in the Midwest.
Interesting.
Yeah, very crazy. Another interesting tidbit of information: despite the government shutdown and kind of the volatility that had to deal with that, 304 new jobs were created in January, despite the government shutdown. Wow, that's nuts, right?
304, huh?
304.
So not 303, not 305. I mean, right on the
304,000.
Okay, there you go. All right. Jeez, I was gonna say.
That's really pinpointing it, huh? That's really that Farrah Fawcett. I still can't get over that Farrah Fawcett comment. That's dating you, bud.
Why?
Couldn't you go like
that? Doesn't date me. My gray hair dates me.
Cindy Crawford, something a little newer.
Cindy Crawford, Farrah Fawcett. I mean, that's all. How old's Cindy Crawford? She's getting up there, isn't she?
I have no idea. I didn't have the
no posters,
illicit poster on my ceiling like you apparently.
Hey, I guarantee I'm not the only one. No way.
We'll see. We should get a poll. Anyways, I wanted to bring this out. So, homeownership, the rate of people owning homes in the U.S. is historically low right now. It peaked in 2005 at 69%. We began dropping around 2014, and we've kind of seen that a little bit of a drop off since. And the main reason that this is coming about, a lot of it is because of these dang student loans. We're supposedly seeing a 9% drop in the U.S. home ownership due to student loan debt. Pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yep, I have two fun factoids to round out my market update because I know you love them so much.
Indeed, I do.
So you know that we have Valentine's Day coming up, right?
Yes, we do.
So you don't take for granted your wife Jen.
Never.
Just do something nice for her.
Yeah, of course. Hey, what are you doing for dinner? Did you set up a reservation
I have
yet?
it all set up there, buddy.
All right, you better.
I don't want to ruin it on air.
No, don't. All right, now. Don't wait till
but,
last minute.
it's funny. It's not even Valentine's Day yet, and Costco is putting out Halloween decorations already.
What?
I swear to God.
Really?
Yep. And did you know that the minimum wage at Costco is or the minimum starting wage at Costco is $14 an hour?
Wow.
Pretty crazy, right?
Hmm.
One last quick thing. There's only, since 1926, only 11 companies have ranked #1 by market capitalization. Which company do you think right now is #1 in their market capitalization? Giant.
Apple?
Nope, close. Amazon is the latest.
Oh, Amazon. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's only been, they've held it for the longest spot, over 15 months. There's only a handful of other companies that have done that. Apple's one of them, Microsoft, Exxon Mobil, GE, and Walmart.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
All giants.
Giants.
I just saw something on the news this morning that Apple is now worth the most. Apple, Microsoft, like $985 billion, creeping right up on $1 trillion. And I think Amazon is like 980. I mean, they're right on their heels. 980 billion, and that's billion with a B, my friend.
B. Some other ones that were close to holding it that long: AT&T, GM, DuPont, and IBM.
Wow.
And one other one I don't know what this is. Altria, Altria. Not sure who.
Not sure who that is. Wow. Hey, we talk all the time when prepping your house and getting it ready for sale. How important is that, Josh? Because when people walk in your home, if you want to get top dollar for your home, it can't be cluttered with a whole bunch of, personal pictures everywhere, cluttering up the walls and crap stuffed in the corner. I mean, right?
In any situation, especially selling your house, that first impression's everything, man. I mean, you walk into a house and you see clutter, dirt, you just want to walk right back out.
Yeah.
Even from the curb.
Yeah. I mean, it is no secret one of the biggest challenges sellers face when listing their home, indeed, is decluttering. Cleaning out some of the more personal decorating choices allows buyers to imagine themselves living in the home, and that is really the key when it comes to showing your home for sale. Those planning to sell soon are in luck. Marie Kondo. She has the Kondo Marie method, the inventor of that method of tidying up, has gained big-time popularity with their new Netflix series. You got to check it out. It's really neat.
I've seen it.
Have you?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
She doesn't speak English.
Yeah,
all the way.
Right. The Kondo Marie method, exactly.
She's Japanese, I think.
I believe so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She has an interpreter that helps her.
She gives some great tips for sorting through years of accumulating possessions that we all collect in our homes. And this is real interesting how she goes about this, because when I meet with sellers, I'm just like, all right, let's clean that up. I'm just kind of pointing around, which works. But check this out. Her method encourages tidying by category, not by location. So beginning with clothes, then moving on to books, papers, miscellaneous items, and finally sentimental items. So you go through that last. Keep only those things that speak to the heart and discard items that no longer spark joy, which is the reason I wanted to bring this up. That's kind of interesting way to look at it.
I can tell you exactly how she does it. So you were talking about the clothes, right?
Yeah.
So what she does is she tells the man or woman, the couple.
Yep.
So she tells the wife, go into your closet and lay everything that's in there on the bed, and they literally take everything out of their closet, every item of clothing, and lay it on the bed. She tells the person then at that point, pick up each item, hold it, feel it. She talked about if it's sparking joy.
That's right.
And if they can't live without it, throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that with every item.
I would probably do that with 85% of the stuff hanging in my closet, which is actually, I've been talking about it forever.
I don't want to say anything negative, but
all right, then I'll move on.
No, not about you. I can let go of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm very tidy and clean. My closet is lined up.
Organized by color, right?
No collared shirts,
right.
dress shirts,
Workout
sweaters,
shirt.
and then on the bottom, sports coats, suits, pants. I mean, very organized. But
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, so whether you're selling your house to move up to a larger one, downsizing, or moving in with family, only bring the items that truly spark joy for you. This is what really kind of hit home for me and why I want to talk about it on the show today.
It's a great show. You should watch it.
This will not only help cut down on the items you move, but also ensures that you're off to a great start in your new home. Josh, what say you, my friend? Hey, by the way, we're talking about...
I still can't get over the Farrah Fawcett thing.
we're going to have to talk off air about that. I'm going to have to console and help you out through that one.
It's just so funny to me. I'm sorry.
Jeez, that's okay. You know? Hey, if you're listening right now, back when you were 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe even through 15, what posters did you have hanging in your room? Did you have any? I mean, let's talk about it.
No, I didn't.
Nothing. No baseball, no football, no sports, nothing?
Not a Farrah Fawcett. Yes, I did have some. I had a few Bob Marley posters.
I bet you did, Panama Red. I bet you did. Hey, Josh, for someone to meet with you for free to see if they can become a homeowner, you are with Homeowners Financial Group. What's your best number?
602-377-1979. Call me. Makes it easy. On the way to the show, I pre-qual the client. It's that easy.
Hey, when we come back, 10 indicators of financial stability. Stay tuned for more of your show.
I can't get over that. You know why? Reason I'm laughing is because one of my favorite Christmas movies is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
And Russ I think he has a Farrah Fawcett.
Of course he did, dude. It was the most popular. It's the most popular.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, dude.
Dude, that movie was so old.
That was an 80s movie?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look at it.
Farrah Fawcett, man.
Well, I would have taken you for something different.
Oh, yeah? Like
what?
what?
A different picture. I don't want to stand there.
All right. Oh, jeez.
What was that?
Anyone else watching us right now have any kind of... What posters did you have hanging in your room back in the day when you were a kid? Could be...
I think
Jason says his wife Heather had a full life-size Lionel Richie.
Oh, I
believe it.
I thought you were going to say Pamela Anderson, by the way.
Farrah Fawcett. You know that. What was there? Cheryl Tiegs back in the day. There was what's the chick on 10, the movie 10? Bo Derek. That was a big one back in the day. That's a little before you, though.
I don't know any of those people. I see the whole Farrah Fawcett thing blows my mind too.
That's
I'm
before
not really. I don't really know who she is.
You don't know who Farrah Fawcett is? That's something to talk about on the radio.
Like,
who doesn't know?
I mean, I know the name, but
Jeremy, you ever hear of Farrah Fawcett?
I know the name, but I don't know like the movie. She was a movie star, right?
Yeah, I think she was an actress, right?
So I don't know like the movie.
Yeah,
she
from back in the day. She was Charlie's Angels.
I haven't seen that poster.
Okay.
Oh, she was a Charlie's Angel.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Well, the poster is. If you saw the poster, I know that you would know which one it is. It's in a bathing suit. And she's kind of sitting there, and I don't know. You'll see.
It's the same one from that movie, though. You think so?
No, it's not. That's not from Charlie's Angels. That's just a.
No, but the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That poster that.
It's that poster. Yes. Yeah. Oh man! All right, let's get back in.
Here we go, segment 2, 9 minutes.
Hey, welcome back to your Real Estate Power Hour. I'm Jason LaFlesch with Results Realty. Check out our website anytime at azresultsrealty.com. 25 years in the business here locally in Arizona. And yes, I am a full-time real estate agent. We have a super red-hot team at Results Realty.
Red hot.
Red hot. And for the guy that does most of our loans we refer people to is Josh Nastal, sitting right across from me with Homeowners Financial Group. Extremely good at what you do, Josh. You've been in the business a while. And during the break, we were talking about posters on the wall.
Well, yeah.
And you had no idea who the Farrah Fawcett poster
I've heard
was.
the name. I haven't seen the poster, and I asked you which movies she was in, and you said
She's been in
Charlie's
several
Angels.
back in the day, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she was...
It's a little bit, just a tad before my time.
I think it was a little bit before your time, but that's okay. Hey, let's dive back into the show. 10 indicators of financial stability.
So yeah, it's great. It's a great article, and I bring this up mostly because it has to do with credit, and it's a big part of our industry, being able to qualify for a loan credit wise, and this comes from liftcredit.com. So these aren't always, these aren't, hey, you got to have $1 million in your bank account type stuff, right? But one of these first ones I love. Here's a great one. You're not constantly or often fighting with your spouse about money. That's a super important one. Another huge one for credit. You don't use your credit cards often, and when you do, you pay them off quickly, in full. Great idea. You have an emergency fund. Another great one. Saving money is a habit. It's not something you do, just a couple times a year.
Right.
You're thoughtful about the purchases you're making. And here's the other big one. Avoiding and eliminating debt is one of your top priorities. Those are all good financial keys that you're stable, but they're also great ways to keep your credit pristine.
Indeed,
Right.
indeed. You know how there's a lot of people that are working on their credit? What's the number one advice you can give to improve your credit quickly, like sooner than later? And I hear it's opening up some kind of a small limit credit card and making sure your balance is less than half of the total. Is that true or no?
So that can be true. The biggest one though, would be if you already have credit cards, what your balances on are.
Okay.
A lot of people say you want those balances under 30%. Okay, that's a great starting point, but there is actually an actual number. It's not always 30% that I could tell you will optimize I could tell you to the dollar what that credit card balance needs to be at to maximize your score. Say you have a $2,000 credit card and you've got $1,600 on it. I could tell you to the dollar, pay it down. And it's weird. It's not always a round number. Pay it down to $97, and you're going to get a 17-point increase.
Wow.
So I would say that is the fastest, easiest way to improve your score. Now, to your point, if you don't have any credit cards, that's what you would want to do. You'd want to go out and secure one,
okay,
and keep the balance super low.
Okay.
And that is a great segue to the next piece of my article I wanted to share about credit. What are some things that are indicators that you're not stable or you're unstable, right? Here's a crazy one. 40% of your total gross income, you're using it on rent. 40%.
You know what I was going to say is that your car payment's more than your house payment.
That's a great one. I don't know if it made the list, but that's a no-brainer, right? Here's another crazy one that, again, this really affects your credit. And this article is, about financial stuff, but more about, getting your credit in check so that you're ready to buy. The only way you're able to manage to pay off one credit card is with another. That's a bad idea.
Yep.
Okay? Very, very bad idea. Putting less than 10% into some type of savings, whether that's your 401k, a savings account. You're trying to every month put 10% away. Unexpected expenses could ruin your finances. Like on the flip side, on the financially stable, you want to have a small fund that if God forbid something happens, you're prepared for it. Another huge one, we're talking about credit. Only paying the minimum balance each month. That is a credit killer.
Yeah, you got to chip away faster than that. Get rid of it.
Credit killer.
Yep.
So those are some great things to talk about. If you want some information on credit, call me, 602-377-1979. If you just have some questions about your credit, we don't have to pull it, I can look at your freecreditreport.com or whatever your bank gives you one, and I can give you some tips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Valley of the Sun here, we have a massive population in Phoenix Metro, from west to east.
Fifth largest city in the nation.
It is fifth. Yeah, we passed Philly years and years ago, right? So we're one of the largest cities in the nation, and there's got to be thousands and thousands and thousands of first-time home buyers out there. Wouldn't you say?
Tons. I mean, there's a lot of, we always talk about millennials wanting to buy. There's some things that are preventing them. I mean, but maybe you're not a millennial. Like,
right.
I had a client who had been renting for 8 years, and finally said to the
enough is enough. Gotta own.
To what you were speaking earlier about, paying someone else's mortgage, you're paying your own. That's exactly what they said.
Tips for first-time home buyers. Let's go over some of that because we have so many people that tune in for different tips, whether it's remodeling, whether it's actually achieving home ownership, whatever it may be. And right now you have some tips for first-time home buyers. Let's go through that.
Absolutely. So here's some of the tips that I would say for your first-time home buyer. You know, even before you're going to get you know, pre-qualified, talk to your realtor about lenders and do some research about lenders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your realtor is probably your best you know, asset when you're talking about realtors or talking about lenders, because your realtor has a lot of experience working with lenders, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the very first one. Do your research on your realtor and your lender. Okay. The next step is getting pre-qualified. You've got to get pre-qualified,
mm-hmm.
right? Do you want to take people out that aren't pre-qualified?
Absolutely not. And there's a lot of people that do take
Why
potential buyers
out.
out.
That is.
Well, because number one, you want to know what they can afford. I mean, the last thing you want to do is look at $500,000 homes when the buyer can only afford up to $350,000. I mean, you're kind of meshing. Yeah.
Number three, figure out what you can afford.
What you can afford. Okay.
Another huge one, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I do hear that a lot of times. People, you know, realtors do take people out
all the time,
and I would think that could only set up both parties for, you know, bad taste, a bad feeling.
Well, check this out. Let's say you're out looking at homes that, or a home that just hit the market.
Right.
It's super hot. And when I say hot, I mean it's a home that's going to fly off the shelf.
Right.
And you haven't even met with your lender yet, and you're looking at submitting the offer without a pre-qual, right?
Right.
You got to send that in with the offer. If you don't, you're not a serious buyer. So you need to be ready, especially for a super hot property that just hits the market.
So you sell a lot of homes, Jay, on the listing side. Let's say you get an offer with no pre-qual. What does you do?
First thing I'm asking for is, where's the pre-qual?
And they say, well, hey, our client.
Yeah, we're going to meet later today. And then the next thing you're thinking is, can they even afford the home?
So are you going to accept that offer?
No. We need a pre-qual.
All right.
And we got to make sure it's not from
Big Bang.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just leave it at that.
Well, I got a couple more after the break. We can wrap that up, but that's a great topic. Man.
Sounds good. Let's wrap it up in the next segment. Stay tuned for more of your show. Good. Jason, Farrah Fawcett, she was in the TV show The Fall Guy back in the day, too. She's in a lot of shows. Oh, man. All right, we'll finish up on that right now. Let's see. You ready, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jerry.
Here we go, segment 3, 6 minutes.
I thought we were already past 3.
Jason LaFlesch here with Results Realty. And this is your Real Estate Power Hour right here on KKNT 960 The Patriot, the longest running real estate talk show in the Valley of the Sun. A bit over 15 years, over 750 episodes. It's what we love to do, bring as much information to you, the listener, as we can. Got a call from a guy last week that's getting out of a rental situation. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the foundation call. That was great stuff.
Oh yeah, that was good.
That was good.
He actually got a lot of activity out of that even after the show. That was interesting. You know, on Facebook Live, people
he's
posting as well. He knows his thing.
Yeah, really good call.
Hey, so in the last segment we were talking about tips for first-time home buyers.
Yep.
And why don't we wrap that up?
Yeah, so we were talking about, you know, comparing your lender, getting referrals from your realtor, you know, making sure that your lender and realtor are the right fit. getting pre-qualified, calculating how much you can afford, and then, you know, during that time period, you know, talking about down payment with your lenders. You know, if you have to save for down payment, if you have enough right now, and you brought up something about down payment, right?
I did. You want to talk about that right now?
Well, let's talk about that, and then I can hit the last bullet point on this. But you were talking about a lot of people out there think that you need 20% down right now. Is that right?
That is true. That is true. Let's see here.
You hear that often?
Well, yeah, I hear it all the time. People calling in, but do I need 20% down? But this is one of the largest obstacles that renters face and first-time home buyers face when planning to buy a home, is saving for a down payment. The challenge is amplified by rising rents, which has eaten into the amount of money renters have left over for savings each month after paying expenses. So we hear it all the time, though. You know, I need 20% down. So if I'm looking at a $300,000 home, I got to have 60 grand saved. And that's just not the case. And there's a huge percentage of people that think that. So why don't we dive in and talk about some different loan programs and what you can get into a home for?
Yeah, so you're 100% right, LaFlesch. You don't need 20%. I mean, if you want to put 20% down, that's fine. But you don't need 20%. Let me just do a quick rundown. So FHA loans are standard 3.5% down payment. Nothing near 20%, right? That's your most common first-time home buyer, or someone who may have experienced a little bit of trouble with their credit. But 3.5%, not crazy, right?
It says right here, Josh, the median down payment on loans approved in 2018 nationwide was only 5%.
Yeah, I was going to say about somewhere around 7, but I believe that for sure. Absolutely. So in this is what a lot of people don't understand. If you're a first-time home buyer, and what defines a first-time home buyer is someone who hasn't owned a home in the last 3 years, okay? If you're a first-time home buyer, and this is a conventional loan, you only need 3% down. That's
for a conventional loan?
That's the minimum you can put down.
Wow.
3%.
Wow.
Now, again, one of the buyers has to be a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
Now, we don't deal with these as much as we used to. I mean, when Maricopa, Santan, you know, Queen Creek that area was years ago a lot of USDA populated areas. That's 100% financing, 0 down payment. And here's my favorite loan.
We've gotten in a lot of people with 0 down.
Yeah, we have, and
they love it.
And I'll wrap that up in a second. My favorite loan is a VA loan, because, you know, veterans, you know, served our country, and they deserve to get a loan that's a 0 down payment and no mortgage insurance on that.
Are there VA loans? Are the interest rates a bit less than the FHA conventional? Or are they just right there with all the rest too?
You know, it's in the 15 years I've been doing this, VA and FHA was always a little bit lower than conventional.
Okay.
But now it's kind of changed. It's crazy.
So they're kind of flip flopped a little bit, or
flip flop, or about even. I mean,
gotcha.
there's you know, higher credit. There's still, you can get a little bit lower, but this has been different than it's ever been in lending.
Interesting fact here, according to Barriers to Accessing Homeownership, it's a study commissioned in partnership between the Urban Institute, Down Payment Resource, and Freddie Mac. 39% of non-homeowners and 30% of those who already own a home believe they need more than 20% down payment.
That's a huge number.
It is. The percentage of those who are aware of low down payment programs, those under 5%, is surprisingly low at 12% for non-homeowners and 13% for homeowners. So that's interesting. You know, they also found that 49% of renters believe they need at least 20% down payment. So, I mean, those waiting until they have 20% may already have enough to buy a home right now.
Oh,
and that's what we're for.
Yep, and here's the other thing to kind of wrap this up. Even with these down payments that I quoted, I didn't even talk about the 0 down payment programs that are available in all of Arizona. You know, there are programs that will give you your down payment.
When we come back, let's dive into that for just a couple minutes, because I think that's important. There's a lot of renters out there, a lot of first-time home buyers that want to get into the dream of home ownership. And the first call to make is you, Josh Nastal at Homeowners Financial, 602-377-1979. And give your favorite realtor a call, me, Jason, 602-369-4663. We'll be right back. Good. First time, huh? Byron Lane, what's up, Big Daddy? How about them Patriots? You ready?
Yep.
All right, Jer.
Here we go. 1450.
Every time he says how much time we have left, he talks like he's like from Texas.
Yeah, a different monotone there.
1450.
Like a cowboy.
Yeah, welcome back to your Real Estate Power Hour. I'm Jason LaFlesch with Results Realty, where our results will move you. Literally, we have a moving truck that is free to all of our local moves for buyers and sellers. Anytime we could save you money, I feel it's like making you money. So give us a call at 602-369-4663. This is the last segment of the show, so let's dive in. In the last segment, we were talking about down payment and all that other good stuff, huh, Josh?
Two more things I want to wrap up, and the last bullet point I want to throw your way on this, first-time buyer, or even, it doesn't have to be a first-time buyer. Maybe you haven't bought for a while, right? You went through and, life happens. Things can knock you down, you get back up, But there's, so many down payment assistance options throughout Arizona right now. I mean, there's ones that are publicly offered through the Arizona Housing Department, and those are great programs, both FHA and conventional programs, which will give you all the down payment money you need. Not partial, not 75% of it, all of it, 100% of the down payment, okay? And then at Homeowners Financial, we have internal down payment assistance programs that, again, will give you all the down payment needed for both a conventional loan and an FHA loan. Just closed an FHA loan yesterday for a first-time home buyer, just under $300,000 purchase. Full down payment was covered. They didn't have all of their closing costs covered by the credit, so that's really all they had to bring in was the difference between what the seller gave them and actually what their closing costs were. Not very much to buy a $300,000 property, right? So call me, 602-377-1979, and we can go over all those down payment assistance programs. The last home buyer tip, and this is more for you, Jay, is identifying the absolute musts and things that you can go without to find the perfect home for you. Some of those factors were your family size, right? What neighborhoods are just off the board? Our schools, you have to be in a lot of people with kids
That's a huge deal.
Want to target a specific school. Do you see that?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Which ones out there do you see that mostly with? What school districts?
Well, I mean,
or high school? Is it more of a high school? I don't know. Is it more of a high school or?
well, we do a lot of our real estate in Scottsdale and in Chandler, East Valley as a whole. And I mean, there's some cities with fantastic school districts. Chandler, Gilbert,
Right.
A lot of Tempe has great school districts. So they're all over the valley, and it just depends where you want to target and also what you're comfortable with. Because I'm dealing with a handful of buyers right now that are in the Gilbert school district, and they want to stay in the parameters where their kids can go to the same school.
Right.
Even
See, that's what I was thinking more.
right,
Because when your kids are younger, switching schools is sometimes rough on them.
it absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that's kind of when I hear that, that's what I think about.
yeah.
But a couple other things, and we can move on. Then this one, I don't know, the yard type, your backyard, that's got to play a big role. Pool, no pool, the fencing, the views, things like that.
Right.
So yeah, those are some great things, and yeah.
It's good to know the difference between wants and needs when it comes to
Right.
buying a home. There's certain things that you need, that you have to have. Bedroom size, let's say.
Yep.
Right? 2-story or single level. I mean, if you have a rough time getting up and downstairs, then you need a single level home,
Sure,
right?
Sure.
So, but then there's also the really cool wants as well. Man, I want that pie-shaped lot with no one behind me, so I have 100% privacy.
Right.
I mean, so you get as close to that as you can, right?
Yeah, and let me ask you this to wrap this up. I got this article from the Consumer Advocate website. They suggest, and I don't know if people even do this, but ranking those items. Is that a good suggestion or not? Really?
Absolutely. I always have my buyers rank things from 1 to 10.
Gotcha.
Because there's not going to be a home that will be 10 out of 10 for you.
Sure, that's a great point.
There just is never the absolute perfect home. But there's little things that you can totally live with, or maybe it's something that you can change on the inside, whether it's paint color. Let's say you love everything else about the home, but the paint color just isn't right. Great. You make that change.
It's pretty easy to change, right?
I think so.
$1 a square foot.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, whose mortgage do you want to pay? Yours or your landlord's?
Well, that's a loaded
Hypothetically.
That's a loaded question, but the answer is, I want to pay my mortgage for lots of reasons. The pride of homeownership, my tax benefits, freedom to do whatever I want with the house.
Yeah.
And they're absolutely my own.
For renters that are listening right now, there's some people who haven't purchased homes because they're uncomfortable taking on the obligation of a mortgage.
What's the difference, really?
However, think about it. However, everyone should realize that unless you're living with your parents rent-free,
Right?
you're paying a mortgage, either yours or your landlord's.
That's a great point. Then when I heard that, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Just because you're paying rent doesn't mean you're not paying a quote-unquote mortgage.
It's a monthly obligation that you have to meet every month, just like a mortgage.
That's true. With home prices rising, many renters are concerned about their house buying power. But here's the deal. The spring home buying season is almost upon us. And if rates stay lower, inventory continues to grow, and the job market maintains its strength, we do expect to see a solid spring market. So, as an owner, here's the cool part of being a homeowner. Your mortgage payment is a form of quote-unquote forced savings, which is nice. It allows you to build equity in your home that you can tap into later in life. As a renter, you guarantee the landlord is the person building that equity. Correct or not correct?
That's very correct, because when you ask me about that question, it's kind of a loaded question, because this isn't a negative, but as someone who has rental properties, and I'm not saying this to be negative, but I love that someone's paying my mortgage.
They're covering your mortgage and then some.
Correct.
Because you're in the business to earn an income when it comes to rental properties.
Right.
So I just encourage anyone out there renting, or if you're listening now and you know someone that's been renting forever, like we talked about earlier on the show, maybe they're saving money for years and years thinking they need 20% down, when indeed they do not need 20% down. Or
no, we've debunked that.
We've debunked that.
20% down.
Yeah, or they're thinking in the back of their head, you know what? I'm just paying rent. No, you're paying the owner of the home. You're covering, in most cases, in almost all cases, their actual mortgage. Why not pay your own mortgage?
Absolutely.
And have that quote-unquote forced savings by owning a home for later in life. I think it's a great way to go.
Oh, it's an amazing way to go. And unless you absolutely know that you can't buy because there's a guideline or something that's preventing you from doing that, find out. Pick up the phone. Find out if you can do it. It's not going to cost you anything. I think a lot of people are just a little bit nervous or amped up about even making that call. It's not a abrasive phone call.
I don't know how many, I can't even count how many first-time home buyers or people that owned a home and maybe they experienced one of the 3 credit fatalities, a short sale, bankruptcy, foreclosure.
Right.
And now they're back in the home ownership game. And all I had to do was have them talk with you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost anything to give you a call. You're a regular dude. We're on the radio. We love doing this, but we're just regular dudes. And Josh, what's the best number to give you a call just to see if they can gain financial homeownership again?
602-377-1979. And believe it or not, most people, when they've experienced one of those credit, issues, challenges, it's a 3-year waiting period. That's it.
Right.
Sometimes it's even shorter. But generally speaking, after 3 years, you're able to get back in the homeownership. Based on that, let's talk a little bit more about that before we switch gears. And I'm going to throw this your way. Let's talk about someone who maybe has some money, right, to invest.
Mm-hmm.
Someone maybe out of state, maybe someone from California, Texas, whatever. Is Arizona a good place to contact you to buy an investment property that you can rent out?
We have a client right now. His name's Peter.
Okay.
He's selling his rental home up in the city that I grew up in Foster City.
Okay.
Now his rental home is worth just shy of $1.1 million. A rental home.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What's the rent on that, I wonder?
I'm not sure. I would imagine $5,000 to $6,000 ish, somewhere in there.
Isn't that nuts?
Well, here's the thing with him is he's taking that money and he's going to do what's called a 1031 exchange. So he's going to roll it in, tax deferred, and buy. I set him up with one of my buddies in Las Vegas, who's a very, very good real estate agent out there that I've known for, 15 years now. So he's going to end up buying 2 homes out there, and he's going to end up buying 2 right here from me in Arizona.
Nice.
So he's selling the one and then reinvesting in 4 others. The good part about Arizona and Vegas for that matter, but I know Arizona very well, is there's plenty of homes in that 250 to 3 1/4 range with a Gilbert or Chandler address with a pool that are renting out minimum for a small home. I'm talking 1,100-1,200 square feet, $1,500 a month.
Oh, yeah.
But you get something up in the 1,800, 2,000 range, you're collecting $2,000, $2,200 a month.
Yep.
It's a no-brainer. But talk about the potential for appreciation, great school districts, near shopping, near freeway access. In Gilbert, consistently in the top 5 most livable, safest cities in the nation.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
You live in Gilbert, don't you?
Yeah. You know,
So you see this all the time.
To me, I look at that and just, I start thinking about the finance, the dollars behind it. Let's say he is making that $5,000 right now in his Foster City home, right? And let's say he does buy 4 single families and gets $2,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
He's just increased his rent by $3,000.
Indeed, and then he's also not putting all of his eggs in one basket
Yeah,
either.
that's what I was going to ask you. What is prompting this decision?
Well, I think it is what we're just talking about right now is spreading it out a little bit more,
Gotcha.
getting into a lower price point, and where his quote unquote, I guess his cap rate, if he really starts working the cap rate on it, if he ends up getting financing on it,
Sure.
or if he ends up paying cash for all 4 of them, just analyzing that cash on cash return for what he has into a home compared to what he's actually getting out of it per year,
Sure.
percentage wise, it's pretty staggering.
Well, I guess another thing I was thinking about, and this is a good talk. What if that home in Foster City goes a couple months not rented? That's a big hit.
It could be a big hit depending if he owns it cash
Yeah, I don't
or
know
if he's
his
got a
cash.
financing on it.
Right.
I think he has a
Shoot.
bit of financing on it.
Shoot, even the taxes are
Oh.
hefty.
Oh, well, in my opinion, the market in the Bay Area there on the peninsula, Foster City, it is so high right now, and the talk right now in the Bay Area is, are these homes going to start taking a little bit of a hit? Because they're not selling quite as fast in a lot of cases, and if they do take a hit, it could be a significant hit. A 10% hit on $1 million home is $100,000 any way you look at it.
Yeah, it's so funny you said that. A lot of big banks, believe it or not, have already restricted their loan to value lending in that area.
I think that's smart.
Yeah.
I think they're looking ahead a bit. So anyway, we are specialists when it comes to the buy and hold technique out here. So for those of you that are listening, streaming online, listening from all over the nation, I am your go-to guy for the buy and hold technique out here. I know the business extremely well. 602-369-4663. And yes, I do answer my phone. 602-369-4663.
That was a great segment. I knew nothing about Peter.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, he's a good guy. He emailed me yesterday and said, we're ready to go. Let's find 2. So now he's just figuring out who to use for 1031 exchange, someone locally here or someone back in the Bay Area.
What's the taxes like? I don't know if you know this in Vegas. Are they taxed pretty heavily? Property tax? Is there property tax?
No, there's property tax. I think it's very similar to here.
Similar to us.
Yeah, it's usually right about that 1% of the
Gotcha.
assessed value. So
So
it's
he'll
not
do
always the
good
purchase
there,
price.
too.
Oh yeah.
Because
yeah,
the affordability is much better there.
and he's in good hands with my boy Billy Alt out there. Billy Alt's a good agent out in Vegas.
What is he buying right in the city, Vegas?
Yeah,
Or
well, yeah,
outskirts?
just right. Well, kind of, no, on the outskirts, not in
Gotcha.
downtown. Yeah. Very cool. Great show today, Josh.
Oh, great show. Great information.
A lot of good topics. Hey, so from your guy Josh Nastal at Homeowners Financial Group and your boy Jason LaFlesch with Results Realty, we'll see you next week. Same place, same time. Say it with me, Josh. See ya. Good show. Great topics today. Hey everyone, thanks for watching our Facebook Live show today. I'm Jason LaFlesch, Results Realty. Hey, check out our website at azresultsrealty.com. We have some great coming soon properties getting ready to hit the market here shortly. And Josh Nastal, for all of your lending needs here locally. Josh, what's the best number for you? You look like you're getting ready to hit the club, man, dressed up in that swanky jacket, all black. Look at that.
602-377-1979, or you can also dial 1-800-Farrah Fawcett.
Bringing it full circle, huh? Very cool.
I'm not going to get over that for a minute.
That's great. Hey, everyone, thanks for watching. See ya. Have a great day.
I bet in 750 episodes you haven't talked about Farrah Fawcett.
That's good.